So this hand we played on 200 NL. We had pocket jacks from the small blind, 3 bets against the cutoff open. We are about 150 big blinds deep. We could have used a bigger 3-bet sizing. We only used 4x, probably could have gone 5x given the deeper SPR. 10-7-5. This board will favor the in-position caller because in-position will have more sets. In-position equity, 50%. Equity runs pretty even, but in-position has a significant EV advantage. If we look at the range explorers, as we can see, equity runs pretty even because out of position has the overpairs, out of position has all of the top pairs. However, in position also has the top pairs and in position has more sets, so this tends to almost cancel out. However, for the EVs, in position has higher EV due to the nuttish part of its range having better equity realization being in position, because out of position has to check a lot, which doesn't allow its value hands to stack off quite as much. With pocket jacks, we could bet or check. I chose to check here for pot control reasons. In position, I expect to be betting at a high frequency with the 33% sizing, which he does. In position's bet range should be, it's pretty mixed. With the slightly showdownable top pairs, they check back. You're betting ace-10 for value over pairs. The flush draws. Under pairs are turned into bluffs because otherwise in position wouldn't have enough bluffs. Straight draws. Here with pocket jacks with a spade, we could go either way, raise or call. In terms of out of position's defending range, because in position's betting quite wide, we're actually defending as wide as ace-king without the backdoors. Ace highs with the backdoors are clear defends. Top pairs mixes between raises and calls. Under pair 9-9 is actually defend, so is 8s. So is 6s even. So we are defending very wide. Weaker flush draws we're raising. I do want to point out of positions EV distribution. I do think it's quite polarized, as in your nuttish holdings are going to be quite good, whereas a lot of the middle part of your range gets turned into medium strength catches. We do check call. The turn is a deuce. After we check, in position should start betting a little bit larger, a bit more polarized. In position's bet range should start with the combos of sets, followed by the overpairs. For bluffs, flush draws, non-showdownable king highs, top pair, top kicker, good enough for a value bet, and then the gutties. Showdownable hands like sixes. It's not that showdownable. It's got 35% equity, so these types of hands check. Similar to pocket nines as well. As played, in position bet 3/4. Pocket jacks. I thought we could go either way here, but seems like the solver just likes to call. Out of position strategy is mostly call. It's because in position's bet range is quite polarized, so we're just going to let them bluff off when they are bluffing, and we're just going to get stacked anyway when we have a defendable hand. Interestingly, ace-king without the backdoors is still a defend again, so we're actually still defending relatively wide. We're defending pocket 8s as well. So jacks is a clear defend here. We do call. The river is a 8 of spades, which is quite unfavorable for out of position player. If we look at the hotness feature, clearly spades are quite bad for us. We do like 5s because they would reduce in position's value combos. These middling cards are quite good as well because they don't improve in position too much. Jacks, queens, and aces are good for in position because they hit in position's semi-bluffing range on the turn. So spades are quite bad. So it was the 9 of spades. Was it the 9 of spades? It was the 8 of spades. So 9 queen also gets there. Sorry, 9 jack. Although in position doesn't have that many combos. So in position's main value hands here are still the sets. In position should have a fair amount of flushes, although not that many actually. Which range is which? This is in position's range. So in position has only 13% of flushes. Sets 21%. Those are its value combos. It does have some ace highs that missed, and king highs that missed as well. If we look at out of positions range, we have a lot of top pair type hands. Top pairs make up 40% of our range, as well as over pairs. I do have a fair number of flushes as well. Don't have too much air. However, the problem is that out of positions top pairs are turned into very low EV catches. As we can see here, out of positions EV with most of its range is quite low, so even Jack Jack as an overpair, or even King King, doesn't have too much EV. Indeed, out of positions EV distribution is quite polarized, with most of its range being turned into somewhat useless catches, which is the problem with our hand. In position should be betting all in. As thin as sets, straight is obviously betting all in. In terms of its bluffs, it's non-showdownable king highs, non-showdownable ace highs. Obviously flushes are value betting all in. Ace of spades, queen. I think this combo bet the turn at such a high frequency just so it could barrel off on rivers. Interestingly, pocket kings and pocket aces with a spade is turned into a river merge. Notice how ace of spades, ace, has a higher EV as a bet all-in rather than a check. But if we look at the equity of in positions ace of spades, ace, after it gets called, it's less than 50%. Oh, it's a bit more than 50%, 62%. So it's merging. And so is pocket kings with a spade. Quite interesting, the river merge by Pio. But out of positions, defending range here, obviously defending the sets. Pocket nines with the straight blocker and the flush blocker is calling. Pocket jacks here is calling with the flush blocker as well. Top pair, top kicker is mixing, so is king 10. So it seems like out of position needs to start using the overpairs as calls sometimes to be able to MDF. If we look at the EV of a call, we had pocket jacks barely above 0, so it's borderline. I actually randomized a 50% call here, and I called, but we are no good and ran into it.